Yeah.
So good morning, friends. Welcome to Live Pharma Coalition. So today we are here with some of the very good learning for you. And to start with, I want to tell you that you will agree with me that organizations across pharma industry today are facing a challenge to keep a balance between employee safety and also business survival. On the other hand, all the employees are working in a very tremendous crisis situation, risky situation. And on the other hand, there is a challenge of reviving the business which is suffering a lot. In this context, one question is there. The question is, are you relevant today? Are you in this contest relevant today? Because there is a tremendous pressure for organization to downsize, to reduce the, to do close the divisions, and also to revive the business. And exactly for this, answering the question, to be updated with the pharma industry, we have created this Live Pharma Coalition. As you know, our sole purpose of Live Pharma Coalition is to share with you the best practices across the industry. And we not only share about the pharmaceutical uh, sales and marketing, we also cover R&D, academics, production, quality control, marketing, sales, packaging, regulatory, supply chain, finance, HR, and training. So all across pharmaceuticals, we address the issues and challenges. And today we are here with you, some of the eminent speakers, subject matter experts from across the industry. If you see, today's experts are from marketing, Ruchi Saxena, General Manager, India Business, Scientist Pharma from marketing. Jayesh Khatri, Vice President Head, CMO, Business Development from ASIS Life Sciences. He is from Product Management, Project Management. And third, Shiva Kumar, he is from Sales. He is a Country Business Manager from East Africa in Micro Labs. So all these have diverse background. And with me, our moderator, Mrs. Isis Verma sir, is there. He is a freelance trainer and leadership coach. He is a Harvard Business member of Harvard Business Square and also a leadership coach and freelance trainer. And to help me, I have my colleague Raman Marke, who is the initiator and founder of Life Pharma Coalition. And Raman is having 18 years of experience in pharmaceutical sales and marketing. So, my dear friends, before handing over to Mr. ICS Verma as a moderator, I just want to share the disclaimer that the sole purpose of Life Pharma Coalition is to create a platform for learning and sharing. The views expressed by the speakers are their individual views based on their experience and nothing to do with the organization they are working for or nothing to do with the Life Pharma Coalition. And I request all the viewers to keep on sharing their learnings and ask questions in the chat box, whether you have logged in through Facebook or logged in through YouTube. Keep on sharing your learnings and ask questions. So with this, I would like to hand over to Mr. IC Subarman.
Thank you, Ashwant. Once again, I welcome all of you. It's a great, morning once again to have a great sharing session with all of you. So I welcome my friend Jayesh Khatri. He's the Vice President, in Ashish Life Sciences, and and he would also work with the organizations like Cipla, Dr. Reddy's, and he handled international as well as operations. And we have Ruchi Saxena from marketing. She has a lot of experience, more than 20 years of experience in marketing from different organizations like Abbott, and from Sanofi. So we have also Shiva Kumar, who is the country head of Micro Labs for Uganda, and he also has experience in sales in India business. So I welcome all the team, and and I also welcome all the students and all the pharma guys who are actually watching this live webinar. So I request now the speakers, one by one, you can just share about your topic and what you would like to discuss during this.
Ruchi ma'am, we can start your overview of your topic.
Shall I share my screen?
Yeah, no. Only brief about your.
Okay. So hi everyone. Good morning. I'm Ruchi Saxena, and my topic will be around digital marketing, specifically when we talk about this post-COVID era. things are changing, everybody knows, and I'll be covering around those changes happening in the world now. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. Mr. Jayesh, please unmute your mic.
Yeah, good morning, everybody. Thank you first, LPC, for organizing this event. I will be covering about understanding of a project and project management and linking through the business benefit realization. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Shiva, please unmute your mic.
So good morning to everyone, and my name is Shiva. So I'm basically from Uganda now. So today I'm going to talk about the pharma leadership is beyond the crisis, and it is the next normal. So what as a leader should do, and what is the way forward. So that is what the overall topic I'm going to give it to you today. Thank you.
Thank you, speakers and the team. Now we'll go to the first speaker, Ruchi Saxena. Yeah, you can start sharing your screen so that we will introduce you. Yeah, thank you. You can make it full screen. Yeah. So as I mentioned that Ruchi has an ample experience in marketing, especially into the different MNCs, including MSD, Abbott, Sanofi, and currently she's a general manager for India business in Synthesis Pharma, and she has been a graduate from most of the top MBA colleges from IIM Kolkata and IIM Ahmedabad. She has been certified in marketing leadership from Ahmedabad and strategic management from IIM Kolkata, and also she is pursuing transformational leadership program from XLRI. So it's a great pleasure to be with us today, and she would like to share her experience as well as the way ahead in marketing. Yeah, over to you, Ruchi.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Mr. Verma. Before I start on my topic, which is digital marketing, because at one point of time, digital marketing used to be a luxury. It used to be like an add-on, a value add-on. But today, when we look at it, it is need of now, and I'm sure everybody agrees that it's need forever now. Because once the taste of this digital marketing will come to the people, I'm sure everybody would love to stay back to this. Before I move forward, I would like to thank you very much to Life Pharma Coalition for giving this chance to talk about the experience and the thought process that I had behind this presentation. I also would like to thank Mr. Deepak Bhari, who is president of Synthesis Pharma, to give me the permission to be there in the talk, and all my colleagues, seniors, as well as my family members who have really made me to do this thing. Thank you very much. So let me take it forward. What I'll be covering largely about the what digital marketing is, which I'm sure most of the people know in today's scenario. In fact, when we look at our kids, they know it far better than us, honestly speaking. So I'll be focusing more on it, that what is the component which is very critical, whether it comes to the social media marketing or it comes towards the other digital marketing platforms, what we should be taking care specifically when it comes to the pharma marketing. I'll also talk about some latest happenings that Government of India has done towards the digital healthcare. I'll also cover about a little bit about the recent research has been that circulated across WhatsApp group from the brand Uti. So I'll share that with in the further slides. So I hope everybody of you know that what has changed in marketing. Marketing is largely known about communication, the brand that I serve for, and then the purchase that need to be done, and the delivery that need to be done for the brand, and finally doing the analysis on the monitoring and tracking about the brand performance. Yes, all this has to happen when specifically we know doctors are not ready to meet up the medical representatives. Patients are not willing to stay back into an area where other people are around. What it should be doing is actually digital marketing. We can't stop to communicate. We have to communicate to our customers, to our consumers. So the best way in this scenario, when everything, whether it is students' classes or it is meetings or even watching movies, everything has gone. I'm sure most of you know that recently even the premieres of the movies are also happening on the platforms like Amazon and Netflix. In this scenario, Can pharma really stay back and saying, no, I will still remain physical? No. I think now the era has changed when it has become digital marketing. So friends, what's so new? It's a new normal. It's absolutely, if I look at my age, and I'm sure there are many seniors than me, they would have never seen such kind of an era wherein we are completely locked down. Before going outside, we have to think 10 times whether we need to go or not. Can we go without a mask or no? Is sanitizer our new accessory that we need to carry rather than the bag or the purse? So that is the kind of situation we are living in. So there is a new terminology which I recently learned from one of the messages is phygital. Absolutely. Being physical, but still digital. So that is the kind of touch we need to give in our communication as a marketeers. Human intervention is now, I mean, if I look at myself and everybody of you who are listening or watching this, most of us are now stick to the machine laptop. Students, most of them are stick to their mobiles or their televisions or their laptops for the classes. Seniors, elders with TV. So look at the situation right now. Machines have become our most close partners than actually human beings who were surrounded in our office or a professional environment. So it's not just social distancing. Let me put it very clear. It's not just about that. It's actually about we have to remain connected because we are human beings. And the best way to connect is digital connecting. So let's look at this COVID era. It has taught us that life never stops. It just changes our way of life. So my talk will be actually covering about all these parameters which count into digital marketing, and all of us would know very well when we are using any sort of digital technology, whether it is from a simple message. You remember the time was there, my seniors would remember, there used to be a methodology called as telegram, which used to be a printed format, used to reach to the people where the urgent messages need to be delivered. For a phone call, one has to actually book the phone call to make a phone call. And then slowly it moved towards international phone calls, only the bookings were required. Look at the today's scenario. So the things are changing, but now the things are changing with multiple of thousand folds, and this digital marketing, which is all about gimmick around digital platforms to be used in different format, is about digital marketing. Why we should do digital marketing? Can I just spread a message across and say, please look into it? I think the best example in our today's session as well, this coalition group, how nicely they have built up the pharma group together, bringing pharma people together, getting students to know about pharmaceutical industry, and then we are reaching to the right audience. So digital platform definitely helps us to reach to the right audience. We can engage with them. The webinars, live webinars is the best example to say that we're engaging so well. Motivate your audience to take an action. There is, that click, like, share, message. All these things help people to motivate themselves. I would like to share a personal example here when it comes to my son. I'm hearing the conversation with the friends, and I'm very surprised to hear the kind of pressure now it is on likes. How many number of likes did you get? Oh, I got this much. I did not get this much. Maybe I'll change my post to this. That's the kind of conversation today they talk about it. So much of motivation around it. Maximize return on investment, because when it comes to your whole idea about what is it that you're spending and what is it that you're gaining, and that's about marketing, right? In marketing, we can't invest unless we know what do we want to achieve. So that's where we can maximize by understanding how many audience, how much is the strength, how much is the intensity we are reaching it, and what we really gain out of it. In fact, I would say FMCG has been largely using these digital media platforms for ages. Pharma, it is something very new. So why now digital is so important is also another factor. We all know that the print media has taken a pause right now. Anybody getting anything in hand is giving a thought 100 times whether I should take this from the other person or not. Has it been sanitized? Isn't it carrying a virus with it? That's the kind of thoughts first which we come. So therefore, if you see print media industry is really going through, the numbers are very much visible on the screen, is going through a very, very tough time. You know, the newspapers, the day lockdown started, after 3 days itself, the newspaper which we used to pay for online versions, today you have free access to those newspapers. Look at the irony, the things are changing. So how does digital marketing can really benefit all of us is to say that real-time analysis. I'm sure in parallel, my group from Life Pharma Coalition would actually be checking how many are logging in, how many are moving. The clear access is happening onto the analytical part real time. There is completely time and effort saving. The one which we needed, imagine if we would have done this kind of a meeting in live, in physical, we would have called people, we would have booked their tickets, stay, everything, hotel booking, all those things. Today, I think all of us are sitting at home or in offices from where we are taking up this call. Instant feedback is so live. Facebook or any other social media platform or web-based applications, look at that. You get very, very quick feedback. The speed with which it reaches to, the kind of economical impact it can carry, the kind of flexibility it takes to the people. Anytime, I'm sure so many webinars are happening across, people have their ease in the night time, in the morning time, in the afternoon time, whenever they get time, they can actually look back into these records. Now, records are available online. It's such a good thing. There is no video recording separately required, which we used to do it in our live meetings. I'm sure my seniors again would be remembering those times when we used to book a videographer to look at that recording and do the recording and then circulate the recording across. Finally, when it comes to the growth story, look at the situation what it is today. Active internet user base is estimated to reach 639 million by the end of 2020. The kind of speed, 574 million to 639 million we are talking about. We are talking about the penetration of 41%, which was in 2019, is going to have an annual growth of 24%. Look at Facebook users. 20 million since January have gone high. And you know, Facebook user is now, everybody's a Facebook user. There is nothing new. But still, 20 million will be going high. Other social media platform, 8 to 10% jump. I'm sure so many apps during this period, I remember, thanks to my professors, sharing some of the very, very useful apps, like Harvard actually circulated some of the free of cost courses. And so many people actually hooked on to it. So many courses we got during this lockdown era. And that's again the digital growth story. And the time that has been spending by any one of us almost has doubled. I'm sure people who are working professionals, they would agree. Earlier, there used to be like a 9 to 6 or 9 to 7 job. But today it has come, the working environment has come to a level of 9 to 10, 9 to 11. That's the situation we are talking about. So what does it make? A full package is actually about, we do not miss out branding. Branding is the key. You can see our backgrounds, which also has branding very clearly. The social marketing, another very good impact. Content marketing, SEM, that is social engineering, we are talking about media, video graphics, email marketing, web designing, app development. I think all these things we are well aware about it, and I'm sure I'm not talking anything very new or out of the box over here. But what is more important is to remember, when we talk about SEO, that is search engine optimization, many a times when we click onto it, we realize there are certain things which come on the top of the panel, on the top of the screen. How does it come? There are two methodologies. One, there is a very good access to those links again and again. The more the clicks, the more the top of the screen it would come. But another important factor is that it also reaches on the top because of the marketing efforts done in the background. So remember guys, a lot of scope in SEO. The second important, very, very classical, social media marketing. All of us know it very well. In fact, many times I keep hearing people that, no, I don't want to get onto this. It's too much disturbing. It's too much annoying. So many posts comes and all those things. But yes, one cannot be away from this. For example, if I talk about Facebook, look at the Facebook, the age group. Earlier, the age group used to be known as 18 to 40 years maximum, 30 years maximum. Today, in my family itself, I know there are almost 3 to 4 oldies who are at an age of around 70 plus. They actually converse on Facebook. They put posts on Facebook very regularly. And I'm sure when I'm talking about my family, everybody has that relationship to code for. So what is it important in Facebook, which has actually changed over a period of years, is about taking those videos. If you remember Facebook earlier versions that used to have simple post or video post or like post, that's it. Today, if you have noticed, there are adverse sections now in the Facebook itself, which can also be sponsored. So a lot of scope to reach and maximize the people across and get there what we wanted. And that's the thing we are looking forward for. When it comes to Twitter, look at the Twitter point, and Twitter point actually speaks about the quick post that moves out. And that's where the group is largely government or media groups, but that takes up very fast. When it comes to Instagram, a very, very young age group usually stick to Instagram. So if you have some brands, some medications, some thought processes, some disease awareness, your actual target audience can be Instagram. LinkedIn, when you talk about LinkedIn, a lot of professional networks are there. It's too good to reach to B2B businesses. So make sure your post is actually useful for these professionals. So best way to connect, for example, 97,000 people are there as members, 72,000 people are there from the biotech, and 2,74,000 members are there from the science pharma network, and 81,000 people are there from the pharma business itself. And if you look at YouTube, 30.5 million subscribers it has earned and 2.2 billion video views. Today's session is also being telecasted on YouTube as well. All the webinars there. Just search, click, go there. It's so quick to go there. Make sure when you're putting on YouTube, have your branding appropriate in YouTube so that it is clickable, it is all watched perfectly. The most easy way of WhatsApp marketing, actually speaking nothing new here. Again, a very, very good broadcast that you can talk about it. You can communicate with your customers. You can give proposals, you give promotions, news, everything through WhatsApp that you can do. Email marketing, one of the oldest and a conventional method. So many email comes, but make sure when you're sending your email as a marketer, it should not fall into the spam box, number one. Number second, don't make it too complicated. A easy, simple message better would be a line message rather than the picture, because many people block picture download. Make sure what you're sending is worth reading at least for a second, for a minute. 1 minute look itself is good enough for your email to reach to your customers. Social media marketing does help brand awareness, the traffic that you would like to reach to your brand, the search engine rankings, higher conversion rate, better customer satisfaction, and the kind of loyalty that you build. I'm sure on television was like, first of all, the oldest conventional methodology in digital medium. And you remember the kind of visual and the audio impact we get through that. We are bound to stick to it. That is the benefit we get brand loyalty through the digital medium. There are certain myths. People don't want to use digital services for healthcare. I'm sorry, it's wrong. More than 67% of population seek for healthcare solutions. Only young people want to use digital. As I gave my examples, I think more than 60 years of age are also now online for digital medium. Mobile healthcare may not be that helpful. Things are changing. Everybody is now getting into telemedicine, teleconsultancy. I'll come on to the next slide for that. Innovative solutions are needed in healthcare to be digital. Yes, it is needed. It's not a proper myth, but yes. But remember, finally, patients don't look for innovation. What they look for is treatment that gives me care and empathy, which can be given the way we are talking here right now. Same can be given there as well. So what is changing? If you look at the digital health market overall, you can clearly see that from $86 billion, it has reached to, expected to reach by 2025 around $504 billion. If you look at the kind of digital health industry, look at various continents, it's going up, and the CAGR that is expected is around 38.8%. The healthcare is completely changing to the digital side. How? Telemedicine, medical alert system, telehealth, remote diagnosis, and I'm sure most of you know that AI is increasing so high that the remote diagnosis is also happening now. Video consultations, doctors are doing interface with visual assessment with the patients. Mobile health services, because of our smartphones, that's happening. Wearable sensors, you know, your smartwatches itself actually gives a lot of data input nowadays as a health monitors. And therefore, if you see here, Government of India has also launched app like Arogya Setu. In March, they launched telemedicine practice guidelines for the doctors to really understand and remain within those guidelines. National Health Stack 2022 digital health records are expected for each patient to be there available digitally. Something very, very interesting. National E-Health Authority, so for any approvals, system processing, so that's in process, wherein Government of India will be going in. E-Sanjeevani app has been shortlisted for pan-India telemedicine rollout. So these are some of the very interesting factors which Government of India is doing as a digital healthcare. So why digital marketing in pharma industry should stay back? Because if you see here the recent, I'm sure most of you would have got this report through your WhatsApp medium or email medium. Very interesting, this survey has been done by an agency and they have very clearly highlighted that WhatsApp is the best medium to connect, and there's a feedback given by the set of doctors towards the pharma companies. Very importantly, they have said that it gives me flexibility. I'm not under pressure to look at it. Knowledge on e-consultation, technology, digital proficiency is another factor which they have really, really appreciated a lot. And that's the benefit. So if I say in summary, for this kind of a changing environment in pharma, our customer intelligence, our brand basics, both put together have to give a message, have to promote, but definitely physical remote in a digital medium. So we have to be remotely connected with our customers, but with the digital medium. And that's where, when world is going digital, why not be marketeers? It gives us a level playing field for businesses, cost effectiveness with a better ROI. It gives us enhanced visibility, untapped market that we can talk about. People can search online for with our keywords. So if there is any particular brand, you just make sure that those keywords are there in the system so that it picks up by the search engines. So friends, let me just play a video for you all, and this is a small video to recapitulate what I just spoke about. Sorry, so that's about it. Thank you very much, everyone, for listening to me patiently, and looking forward for any questions there are.
Yeah. Thank you, Ruchi. So we have, it was a really exciting presentation, and there were some questions already, from the Facebook. Just let me. So there was one question from Mr. Vinod. So he's asking, like, too much digital activities like ECM is leading to digital fatigue, because most of the pharma companies started webinars to the doctors and all. So how to overcome this?
Very, very good question, Vinod. Very, very good question, because I did not cover up that because I was expecting someone to ask about it. Honestly speaking, when we look at ourselves, we get so much of digital overload. But still, we see some particular post, we see some particular video. Why do we see that? That connects with you. Remember, whether you carry a visual aid or you carry some kind of a slide deck to the doctor, they will look only when it is relevant to them. So ensure any ECME or any kind of a talk which has been taken care, or any kind of a message which has been developed, remember who is my audience. My slide number 5 or 6, if you remember that, The right audience with the right messaging is the base of marketing. Whatever the medium it is, it is all about. I mean, today doctor says about those physical, when the company people are going to the doctors, they are also becoming choosy because they are getting fatigued with those queues outside their clinic and they don't want to meet all. Hence, even in digital, it is very important. What you send is the relevance to the audience, relevance to the doctor. I can assure you they would be keen to take out the time. And also the time, what time do you give? Digital actually is all about even choosing the time slot. If the time slot is like a peak of the day and you are expecting someone to look at your message or someone to respond to your message, I think it's a big mistake. Let's understand everybody is doing some work during the day and we should not bother them too much. That's my word to you, Vinod. I hope I've satisfied your question.
Yeah. Thank you, Ruchi. I think you already addressed it. So it's more important to find out what exactly inspires them, or make them more interested, and to find out the timing also. Like the every Sunday we are doing live pharma correlations, and people know that this is a time where I will get some knowledge. So if you are consistent and you are clear about your goals, and I think that will not increase the digital fatigue, and you know that you're going to get something, and you will join. Otherwise you will not join on the end. That's fine. So that's more important, to identify what are their interesting topics, and it's more on an inbound rather than you are pushing. You actually collect from them their interest, and then identifying their persona. What I understand.
Right.
Thank you. One more question, Ruchi. Yeah, thank you very much. One more question from Santosh Kumar Kotta. So he says that it's good that digital is he has seen that digital is everywhere, and digital we are doing in other industries. But being it's a pharma, it's a healthcare, we can do only webinars through social networking sites. And I think to promote or share about the products in digital marketing, and do we need government or internal legal or ethical approvals? So what's your view on this?
Thank you. So Santosh, another interesting question. I know in pharma, we are very much bound when we do any kind of a printing. We must have our regulatory and legal department's approval so that we do not quote anything which is going out of the line. Here also, when we are doing webinars or when we are sending any kind of messages via digital medium, it has to be approved in a similar fashion, because there are many medical treatments which are actually Schedule H or other scheduled drugs, which are not allowed to be publicized to the public domain. Until you are sending it for your doctors, you can definitely have those local approvals. But if you're sending it onto the public domain, make sure your drug branding has to be in line with the approvals received by regulator. Coming to your second point, it's not just webinars which can only reach out to the doctors. I know most of the companies, I think every company to pick up, now even doctors themselves have started doing their webinars to reach out to their people. So webinar is the easiest way to reach out to the larger audience without much of the efforts or the cost of the money required. But it is also important that, as I shared almost 13, 14 different ways to connect digitally, you should look and explore those various methodologies so that it brings some change when you're reaching out to your customers. That's the thought from my side.
Yeah, thank you, Ruchi. I hope Santosh's question has been addressed.
I hope.
And there were some great comments from the audience. So we have Vishwajit, very informative session, ma'am. And in this era of digital connection, it plays digital plays a very important role. And Mr. Rakesh Maitre, he said that yes, it's very awesome session, and it's too good, lovely presentation and nice video.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Yeah. So apart from that, there were many good comments about they are enjoying the presentation. So thank you all, Gopal Krishna, and we have other Gaurav, so Abhijit Singh, so all these yeah. Thank you very much. I think we'll come back to you.
I see, sir.
Yeah.
From YouTube, I would like to recognize all the comments of Mr.
Yes.
Agnivesh Thakur, Vinod Sangwan, Ajit Mohanty, Dhruv Pandey, Vinod Vaswani, Ravi Mohan, Jagdish Kumar Bodeda, and these people. So thank you very much. They have given very good presentation. Thank you very much. Ma'am, thank you very much. Please be there with us. At
I,
the last, some more questions will be there.
sure,
I
sure.
see, sir. Over to you for
Yeah,
next.
yeah. Thank you, Ruchi. Thank you, Yashwant. So now we will move on to second presenter and the speaker. So I welcome Mr. Jayesh Khatri. So Jayesh Khatri is one of my best friends. Actually, we worked together in Cipla. He was heading the international operations for SAP implementation, and I was leading India business at that time. So we were as a part of the same team in sales and distribution. So we have bring in a lot of change management in Cipla. So I welcome my friend to this session. So he is currently the vice president and the head of CMO and operations for Ashish Life Sciences. And he's a visionary leader and having experience in project management, international operations, and into the currently into the portfolio and project management. So I welcome Jayesh. So Jayesh also worked in Dr. Reddy's, Cipla, Glenmark, and Enlac Laboratories, and he has been into different fields and having a very dynamic personality, what I could say, because I worked with him, and it was a great that he is here today with us to share some of his thoughts on project and project vision and project management. Yeah, over to you, Jayesh.
Thank you, ICS Sharma, and thank you, LPC team, for organizing this event and inviting me to talk about project management. Before I start, I would like to also appreciate Ruchi's presentation and specifically the word digital, which I like about. It's a new for me, but it's a good word. Yeah, so I will be covering about understanding of a project and project management. Initially, I thought about to detail about the vision, but then I came to know about the audience, which is a mix of experienced and the students. So I have modified little bit of presentations to cover the entire the audience. Now, all the views which I present is my personal views and not to be linked with any organizations where I have worked. About project, so if we search in Google, so many definitions will come. Okay, but the project is basically very in a simple. There is a specific start and end date. Okay, and it is a set of activities which are interlinked. Okay, for a specific objective to be achieved within the defined time and cost. So this is the broad definitions of a project. Now, so why I have mentioned definitions? So see what happens. Sometimes we are confused also whether we are running a project or we are running a task. This happens typically. I give you the example that the in one of the companies people were doing the cost reduction program. Now the cost reduction program was running for 2 years. Okay, they were not knowing that what is the project. So whether they want to reduce the X percentage in the final API, or they have to target some particular intermediate. So it is very important to know that what is project and be clear when you move ahead. Now, in my presentation, there are many. I have made a very simple presentations. I have not included any 5G or industry revolutions 4.0 or 6.0 or some different versions, because COVID has taught us, how to wash hands and how to focus on basics. So I'll also talk about more on a basics. Coming back to the project management, so it is a task which is carried out by a project manager. It is a combination of roles and responsibilities of individual assigned to a project, uh, organization structure where there is clear reporting arrangements are there, and project manager management ensures that everyone involved knows what is expected of them and helps to keep cost, time, and risk under control. Now, this is a very standard definitions available. I will also tell you what Wikipedia says, but the major challenge is project management, and for a project manager is getting things done. Okay, I mean the key. Okay, so while there is a clear reporting arrangement, etc., are there, but the challenge in project management comes dealing with the people, dealing with the uncertainties. So COVID is one uncertainty. Project management has to be very flexible and be very clear on what is priorities. Many companies' portfolio changed from pre-COVID era to now, where project management is also playing very important role to push those products in the right time. Okay. Now, project management is a practice of initiating, planning, executing, controlling, closing the work of a team to achieve specific goals, which I also mentioned in the previous one. But it is not so simple. It is simple in the definition. So we will talk about in the next slide. So these are four important phases of a project management. Now, planning. So by definition, this is very important. We need to just list down the activities and by when and who will do what. But majority of a project never fails in the end. Actually, it fails in the beginning. This is a very, very important phase of a project management. Now, there are activities which are very sequential. There are some activities which run the parallel. There are some activities which are dependent on some of the activities, which I say that more a critical chain of a project management. Right? Planning is very, very important. The sequence of activities, what comes after, what is the successor of which activity. It is very important. Now it is very example, if we are developing any product, okay, we plan, there is a reference product also available. Availability of a reference products link with many activities, like, getting the test license, import license, you must aware about the planning phase, that activity should not. Tracking and monitoring. Now, what happens when you plan? There can be a risk which is coming out, which is the unknown risk, we call as uncertainties. It is very important that the plan which has been prepared against the end objective which we want to achieve has to be tracked and monitored. Sometimes, if required, the plan has to be changed. We cannot have a flexible plan. So this is very important. The plan, but current environment is so uncertain, you have to build that flexibility within that plan. Now, controlling means if you move to one step ahead, you should not come back. So this is how you control every phase of the project, every milestone of the project which you are developing. Now, what is milestones? So milestone is a specific measurement criteria. Let us say if we are developing any pharmaceutical product, okay, the first milestone is to have the materials and start the work, which we call as a T0. Okay. The second milestone, which comes like you develop the prototype formulations, which meets the reference product if it is a regulated market where you are targeting. The third important phase comes where you are demonstrating the bioequivalence studies at the small scales. And the fourth milestone comes when you when you do the registration batches in the manufacturing. Okay, and then you do the final studies, which goes for the registration. So there are various phases where you actually track that how your project is moving in terms of percentage. Let's say there are 6 milestones, you close 3 milestones. So if it is a lengthy project, which is more than 1 year durations, you must have a milestones in defined. Now, closing is an important part which most of the companies are not doing. Now, what actually closing? So closing actually is a part of a learning, how and what learning we have got from the executions. who has performed the best in terms of the idea which is worked. So recognitions comes also. Uh, Also, it links that what was the business case we anticipated in the beginning versus what we have achieved. So the reality check also comes, and how the this will move forward. Okay, which will into the programs sections. Closing also important part, which triggers a lot of systems and thought processes to be implemented in a new case, right? So this closing part is actually not being worked in industry properly, but this is a very important phase. Now coming back to certain thoughts. So where I say planning is the most important project management cycle of a project management cycle. But the reality is people don't update the project plan on a daily basis. So what happens? Your reality is a different, and your plans is different. So it has to be synchronized. Your today's scenario must reflect in plan. It means team is aware that what is the next which is to be done. The another is the part. So what happens is when I say any project which has a risk, known risk and unknown risk. Known which comes with the experience that the particular product has a kind of a product has certain challenges, etc. It has some kind of a safety issues, or it has some impurity challenges, or it has some. So those learning, which is considered as a known risk, and it is normally in a project management, a project manager prepares risk registers, assigns responsibilities, and shares with the team who is responsible for mitigation. And but in reality, what happens? People send an email, they capture the issue in minutes of meeting, and just leave it. One must understand in project management and project management principle, registering issue mean does registering issue is whether you have solved problem. No, it has to be resolved. So any risk we register, if it is a known, mitigation plan has to be followed up, and there has to be cut off before any activity. We have to define that this risks has to be mitigated. If this is happening, the success of a project will improve. Second, sending a mail is not the solution. Okay, the important is the closure of a task, and the one has to be driven through what is a priority link with the project, not is the what is the email coming in. So this is the another which is I put a thought which is normally being practiced, but what should be the ideal way. The another thing is, it is important for project manager to maintain the variance report. Okay, so what happens is, I would say the people who are not a project manager but a project scheduler, what they do is there is a schedule they defined, they've created as a baseline, and they just check the progress, and they just update that what is the variance, like it is delayed, how much delayed, etc. Okay, but that is not the problem. Uh, One has to review that thoroughly, and there has to be a decision making that how we can pull back this project and track. Okay, so which area we have to focus, how we can take the project on a fast track mode. Okay, so there are certain activities which can be run parallel in that. Okay, where the risk factor is not much to achieve the end objective. If we don't do that, we'll have a major impact. So the fast track mode has to be built in here, and there has to be thorough review on a project progress. The another part which is, many of the people ask me that if I want to do project management certification, whether it will sharpen my skills. I am not a project management certified, by the way, but most of the time, people don't do the certifications for sharpening their skills. Actually, it happens with the link with the salary increase. The thought process comes there. So I think this also has to be well understood, whether if the certification will add a value to knowledge or you want to link with the salary. If the objective is only salary, I think then it is a wrong thing which people consider. The another part is that people call sometimes what is a successful project manager which comes. Okay, so if somebody is thinking that I am a successful project manager, one has to define that what is the success criteria of a project manager. So what is success criteria of a project management? We will talk about that also now. But what I just want to give a thought that if your team is aligned to you, if you are utilizing your resources optimal, if the issue is not being hidden and there is a transparent mechanism and you have an authority, certain decisions power, I think then you are successful. And if you are achieving the on time in full OTIF of your project delivery, which is more than 70%, okay, you can also consider you are doing successful. And there are, you not only considered as a project manager, but you also be treated as a project leader where team follows you, respects you, and in uncertainties they do duty beyond, they work beyond their duty. I think when you have that kind of bonding with the team, which is a maximum stakeholder management, you have, if you are keeping happy, that is also a link with your success in a project management. Now, why do we need a project management in companies? So yes, the first, there are three major, I would say. The optimum utilization of resources, okay, improve the cost consumptions, reduce the time to market. Now, whether time to market or any other, whether if it is a rocket which is launched to be launched in a space, of course, that's also you need a project management. So what happens in pharma industry, so or in every industry, there are a lot of activities happening, but one has to be controlled in terms of linking the end objective. Okay, one has to be monitored that how the resources are, whether the resources are utilized in optimum level or there is available resources, so how to pull resources to the other project which is needed. So kind of a management which indirectly actually increases the throughput. The second is the cost consumption. So when you are utilizing the resources at optimum level, you have a control on the activities and you know the what is uh, uh, the upcoming activities and how the calculation is done, whether if you are going to the plant or etc, or any critical decision making comes in terms of studies, which normally in pharmaceutical we do a bio studies, where project managers roles comes very important to in terms of cost management. And of course the speed, the most important part is the speed. Now in a project management vision, so most of the time what happens, the project manager and a portfolio should link with each other. So strategy, portfolio strategy and project management, because anything which you do, so project manager's role is only to file a DMF or only file the dossier into market, but whether it is commercialized, what benefit we gain, there has to be a vision for a project management in a 360. Second, the most important project management perspective, information and involvement in a key decisions must be there. So if any organizations where the project management are running, so every organization has different level of project management. So one is we call as a mature project management, where is a clear responsibilities defined for project manager and other things. There are other organizations which does not have. They have just identified a project management because the client might have told or they might have seen somewhere. So for a project management, the responsibilities are not clearly defined in any in an organization. But what is the broader one? The broader one is utilization of resources, cost consumption, and speed. If we are bringing with effective planning, tracking, and controlling, I think then you will add an value. So in any organization, project manager works has to be established in these three factors, how he or she adds a value. Then we, automatically the involvement will come. If you are moving and delivering the best results, of course, there is a respect comes, and then uh, at the end of the day, what you have to vision is there is a transparent process which is being built. Accountability of team members are set, and you have a certain level of authority in a decision making because you are responsible for resource management, cost management, uh, and the scope management. This kind of account. So any organization where a project management are part, but the vision should be that you should be controlling this part by effective project management skills. Thank you. I end up the presentations with this note. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you, Jayesh. Thank you very much for a brief introduction about the project and the project management and how to make a project successful, rather than because in most of the times, even a project can be simply defined as a achieving a sales target. In that sense, if I'm addressing the sales people, so in achieving a sales target become a project for them, then how they will plan and how they will monitor and how they make a mitigation plan. If I have a risk, okay, I'm not getting order from this party, then what is my mitigation plan? From where I will get? So we are all actually doing that, but without knowing that what is project management. So I think your insights on project management definitely will help us in getting what exactly the project management and how we can become better by using project management techniques. Yashwant, we have any questions from YouTube?
YouTube. So,
sir, I say, sir, you can just check your video.
A lot of
yeah.
sharing has come. So Pijus, Amin Roy, Hari, Haran, they have shared a lot of good things. Right, they have appreciated the topic because this topic is very, very useful for us in context, in our relevance. So thank you very much, sir. Really good learning for us because we have heard about project management, but we have not gone through the basic things. The way you explained the defined and 4 phases of particularly project management, like planning, tracking and monitoring, controlling, and that is closing. Really, really very, very insightful. So thank you very much. Just for the sake of people who are Ajit Singh, Shagan Chakravarti, Thomas Banerjee, Rachana Dua, these are the people who are watching and they have appreciated a lot about the entire presentation. Thank you very much. So that is it from my side. I have seen these questions. I have not seen any questions. Santosh Kumar has said it is a great to hear accountability and respect also plays a vital role in the project management. And I didn't lead any project, but I'm a part of the project management. Happy to hear that. That is the Santosh Kumar has shared. So thank you very much, Santosh. It is good learning from you also. So over to you, Ashish sir.
Yeah. Thank you, Yashwant, and thank you, Jayesh. Now I request Shivakumar, our next speaker. So Shivakumar, please share your screen. Yeah. So I welcome once again Shivakumar. He's currently leading the Uganda business as a business lead for Uganda, and which is an East African country. And also he has overall of 20 years of professional experience in pharma and banking. So and he has been into both India business as well as from international, and he's an MBA graduate in Bharatiya University. Most of us probably know that because Shiva worked in Cipla, So some of guys know him already. Over to you, Shiva.
So thank you so much for giving me this opportunity. Thank you so much, sir, Mr. ICS Verma and Mr. Ashwant and Mr. Raman. And thanks for the co-faculties also. So thanks for the wonderful presentation in the morning. So once again, I welcome all the viewers across globally. And this is my disclaimer for my presentation. So the views expressed in this presentation or talk are completely out of professional learning and based on the personal experiences at work, and there are no relation or association or any representation of the organization where I currently work with Microlabs Limited or any organization where I associated with earlier during my professional career. And all the information, photos included in this presentation, it's a free of content available in the internet and no copyright mention while picking up the content from these sites, and it was all accessed yesterday only. And in case you are planning to utilize this information, so please confirm the validity of the information at the time of use. And a special thanks to all my teachers and my mentors and my parents and those who are inspiring me and developing me. So today I'm better because of them. And so let me start my presentation. I would like to focus on, or I would like to share a few things about the companies most affected in 2020. So hope every one of us aware during these tough times in the last 3 to 4 months across industries has been get affected. So when you look at, there are top 500, the fortune of companies also, so it was not exempted. So like companies like Zara, Nike, Gold's Gym, Starbucks, Rolex, Victoria's Secret. So all these companies with the different industry backgrounds, so they're into bankruptcy and they're into layoffs and they're into closure of their business or closure of their expansion businesses. So what this slide means. So pharma industry is the least affected industry, and we all should be so much fortunate to work or associated in this industry. And beyond that, which is least affected, it is like gives a sense of satisfaction that we as a pharma professionals and a pharma leaders, so we are offering we are spreading the health and happiness to across the society. So if today someone will come and ask me, like, who is the luckiest person in the world? I could say that the people around in this webinar and me, because there are two reasons. One, we are alive and we are doing a knowledge sharing and learning platform. And I'm very much sure this particular slide, most of us, or I could say all of us, must be received in the last 3 to 4 months, and globally it was circulated. This statement was given by Mr. Jack Ma, who is the founder of Alibaba. And the context of the statement, which he was sharing, that surviving in during these tough times, so which we are making a profits to us as well as to the organizations. So out of this context, being as a pharma leaders, so what I could say, I think what the contribution or the value addition to the organization, what we can make it to the companies during this time, so that the companies will survive. Along with that, we as leaders and the company and the employees also can survive. So when I was given this topic just 2 days back on 17th, when I was given this topic, pharma leadership beyond the crisis, the next to normal. So I was just thinking deeply on this topic because the need of the hour, I think most of us, because I strongly believe the speed of the leader, which is the speed of the company, the speed of the leader, the speed of the team. And today's era, if you find, the leadership also grappling with how to keep the teams engaged and productive during this uncertain time, with a lot of travel restrictions, bans on community gathering, then work from home guidance, and understandable restrictions on access to healthcare settings. And leaders from across pharma industry, they're asking a lot of questions like, how do we best serve our customers during these tough times? And how do we stay in touch with them? And what should we be asking to the field teams to do with their time? And how do we manage field teams' spirit and the enthusiasm? And how we should lead like before times? And what is the way forward for our future business? So, friends, it is inevitable that the crisis makes us want to act quickly and decisively on practical issues and excel as great leaders beyond this crisis time and this new normal also. And so how pharma leaders can reset for growth and building capabilities of team beyond this COVID-19. So now as the pharma leaders, so we all are responding to this current situation in the last 3 to 4 months time. And now as the leaders, so it is our basic responsibility to design a strategical move to recover from the losses as well as how to thrive in the forthcoming years. So that should be really matters a lot as a role of a leadership. And during this crisis leadership time, I think being as a leaders, we all should work on these three elements, or I could say three pillars. Like one, it is our stakeholders, that is our internal customers, and our external customers. So that is your doctors or the pharmacists, your clients, your wholesalers, and you should put a lot of effort on you, because being as a leader, so when you get dejected, when you get demoralized, so the things may not goes up as per the expected standards or as per the flow. So when I talk about the current challenges in this, our pharma industry in these tough times, the human race is witnessing an unprecedented health crisis brought by coronavirus. So across the globe, the market is falling and the production units are standing still, and millions of people are suffering the wreck of unemployment. And the analysts believe that the economic impact of the coronavirus crisis will be worse than the financial year 2007 and 2008. And I'm sure most of the viewers in this program, more than 35 years, must be experienced during the 2007 and 8. And I was one among them. During that time, so many people, they have moved out of their industry, and so many people, they have lost their jobs. And this time, it will be much worse than that period. And along with that, every business activity seeing a downturn in this fortune, be it $1 million company or for a small retail shop. And even the pharmaceutical industry is not an exception on this. So if you look at the current challenges, like pharmaceutical industry, though being a valuable industry at current times of health crisis, is facing tough challenges to conduct its own business activity. So the ongoing and the planned clinical trials for other diseases are getting postponed, which will delay the development of to bring a new medicines globally. Then the major events and the conferences organized for the healthcare professionals, which is all are getting postponed or already cancelled. And import of raw materials or APIs, so which is restricted, so which will affect the manufacturing activity and in turn will lead to lower sales. And as well as insufficient ancillary supplies such as bottles, caps, packaging materials for medicine will affect the output, the impact of which is expected to be felt over a period of next 3 to 4 quarters. So the supply of shortage may also lead to price volatility in future also. And companies will try to maintain inventories for longer duration. So the buffer capacity will be increased, which may affect the inventory cycles. So when I talk about the new normal of our field force, I think it is a big challenge and it is a big change. So the earlier we had an opportunity to meet all of our customers in person, but now we were talking more on the digital connect. So I think Madam Ruchi has briefed in that the digital connect and the importance and the future also. And for the leadership team, that is what is the way forward and what the future will going to offer us. And I request everyone in this event, the viewers, please share any other other challenges. So beyond this few challenges, I request everyone could please share in the chat box so that we could have an interactive session and even we could answer and give a lot of possible solutions on the other challenges also. And when I talk about the current concerns of pharma field force, so it is like the basic psychological needs, especially for our team colleagues, our team members, the concern for the health of friends, their family, their colleagues and self. And also in some cases, I think the grief for someone close and the fundamental need when I talk about the safety. So usually our employees, our colleagues, they always now the recent times, they're more concerned about their job security, their income and their performance evaluation and threat to their business. And also the fundamental belongings like our colleagues or the most of the people, so they get confused about how to best to serve our customers because it is a new normal. And the sudden disappearance of their habitual mission and impact of self-isolation on people who thrive on social interaction, and frustration that they're impeded from having an impact on during this tough time. So you as a leader, that if you really want to maintain a positive engagement across your company, across your team colleagues, then we need to address the whole human fundamental needs, particularly during this time of crisis. And when I talk about the leadership skills for the crisis management, so for this 4 quadrants, so which is most important and it is the need of the hour. So being in the forefront of the team, I think the self-awareness. So as a leader, you should demonstrate self-awareness when you are conscious of your own feelings and your thoughts about your team. So being of your own feelings puts you in charge and not your emotions. But with thoughtful awareness of those feelings, leaders can choose how to handle them in a constructive way. So then when I talk about the self-control, you can train your brain to strengthen that. Regular practice of simple but a powerful mindful exercise can make employees more resilient. All of this can result leadership that's much more emotionally balanced and effective. Then when I talk about the social awareness is an essential leadership skill and a critical of building healthy relationship in the workplace during these tough times. And it is a prerequisite to developing social awareness is empathy. When you empathize, you are able to understand a situation from another person's perspective. You place yourself in their shoes and feel what they are feeling. So leaders who can empathize are often known for their people skills, have profound influence and good communication, and have a high capacity for managing the workplace culture. This helps them become more socially aware, which makes them excellent conflict solving managers, capable of handling other difficult people in terms of situations with tact and diplomacy. And empathetic leaders build bridges to others so that working relationships are rooted in trust and transparency. A healthy workplace environment is essential for achieving a goal, and a leader who develops and practices that empathy will be able to nurture the relationship that promote a rich and productive climate for employees give their best. When I talk about the relationship management, being as a leader, you during this crisis strikes you, it is essential you to manage many relationships among people, internally and externally. I call this relationship management as friendliness with purpose. The ability through the inspiring others, managing conflicts, fostering teamwork, for other competencies to move people in the direction you desire. Each of these competencies requires self-awareness and self-control and social awareness. Developing these competencies will take time and effort, but you will be rewarded for your work. You may not be able to undo a crisis this moment, but emotional intelligence will help make the process of getting through the next one much smoother. So now, being as a leader, so why empathy is the key, or why empathy is so important during these times. So now, being empathetic doesn't mean you are the organizational resident therapist. It means you try to understand your team's problems by walking in their shoes and seeing from their perspective. And practicing this empathy creates meaningful connections because leaders develop an awareness of the challenges and needs of a team. Our department was sitting obvious in an ivory tower. And aside from the interpersonal benefits, empathy is also a practicing tool. When you truly understand what it takes to execute a strategy, the skills, the resources, the projects, and more, you're able to set more realistic goals and timelines. So empathetic leaders can gain the respect of employees and more likely to successfully execute the organization strategies because they know exactly what it takes to get the job done. So now, being as a leader, so during this tough time, why you need for a clear purpose. So the need for a clear purpose, so you need to expel and you need to surpass, you need to give it to the entire company as well as all your team members. And many of these concerns reflect a sudden uncertainty about the purpose. and what is the field team for during this period, and what are we seeking to achieve right now. And leadership teams are attempting to make operational decisions quickly, but likely haven't had the time to step back and strategically answer the fundamental question first. And what is the purpose and role of field team during this COVID-19? If you as a leader, if you assume the organization purpose is the same as always, to deliver the same customer contact and business results as before the crisis, then your challenge is simply to find a way to deliver this through different means, and you will attempt to drive up your existing measures of productivity and upskill on digital interactions. However, the landscape has changed so dramatically that we need to ask if we should remain the focus. And other options for field team purpose could include the patient focus, support continuity of care existing patients, ensuring that they get all the information needed to help current patients on medication. As well, the public health focus, use our experience as a leadership team in the healthcare provision sector to help the efforts against COVID-19. And also the relationship focus, it improves the customer perception of our company through sensitivity to their current needs and pressures. And the transformation focus, prepare the organization to serve our customers in the changed landscape that is likely to exist after COVID-19. And basically, it provides a basis for taking consistent and confident decisions across the whole range of customer engagement and operation issues. This reduces dissonances of the team and helps to address the need for the safety. And we as a leader, it is time for us to clear the purpose for this period and beyond. Because friends, today you all agree with me that we may not have a plan, or we may not have a plan for this COVID in the previous time. And in the future also, we may not be knowing what is going to happen with this COVID. So now that today, I think we as a leader, the urge to take action is almost irresistible. But as noted, it is important to align an organizational purpose during this period. A set of guiding principles to govern decision making, and otherwise actions will be disconnected and will generate dissonance, consistency of purpose. So if anything more important than the specific choice of purpose, your choice will be influenced by the nature of your customers and their products and their adjacency or distance from COVID-19. Your internal resources and capabilities and the overarching business goals and vision of your company. As such, it may be appropriate to have different answers in different business units. So put this purpose at the heart of all your communications to all your team members and all your external customers also. If you have not been a particularly mission-driven organization before, now it is the time to start. And when I talk about the create security by rethinking performance and rewards, field teams, leaders, please believe that field teams have natural concerns in the recent times about the job security, the incomes, especially the field colleagues. They are more concerned about their incentive compensation to the salespeople and being held to measures of performance that no longer apply. So we as leaders, I think we can rethink about the performance measures. So we may not be carry forward the same old style in the previous time, because since it is a new normal. So similarly, the performance measures or the KPIs, key performance indicators, and the reward system also should be rethink and redesigned and can be realigned, so that it will make and it will motivate all your team colleagues in a better progress in terms of performance management. And when I talk about this, communicate with clarity and honesty about role security. So being as a leader, I think if this is uncertain period, then at least provide a concrete plan by which uncertainty will be resolved. So because most of the people are in anxiety, most of our colleagues are in fear factors. So in this time, at least we as a leaders, so morally we can give the support and the kind of confidence we can give it to them, so that they will get motivated internally and their moral values will move up. And when I talk about the reassess business activity targets and the rethink incentive plans, so it is in this new normal, the quickly announced that these are on hold or being re-evaluated, track trends carefully to project likely impact by each month of isolation. the impact is likely to vary significantly by therapy area. So take a segment approach, and demand will likely to decline in some sectors as new patients do not present but could hold steady in other sectors. And similarly for the incentives also, this needs to be done in line with the purpose and objectives that you have set. Targets could be altered in line with expectations or the company vision and the short-term plans. Although more significant changes could and should be made. Maybe some of the total possible payout should be reallocated from sales outcomes to new objectives, such as patients care provision or learning from other learning goals. So I think we as a leaders, so we can think about, we can redesign, remodify our activity targets and rethink the incentive plans, so which will make the entire team to focus much and fostering the teamwork. And when I talk about this change approach to the customer engagement, I think the previous presentation, Madam Ruchi has given a lot of insight. So what is the expectation, key expectation of today's era's customer? So the 21st century with this new norm, I think we are keep on seeing the rapid acceleration of many pharma companies' efforts in digital communication and remote customer engagement tools. And it's already becoming clear that content of any communication is even more important than the medium. I think some of our colleagues in this forum asked a question, and Madam Ruchi has also answered the same thing. So when you give the content what they want, so which makes the clients or our doctors to show a lot of interest on that. And it's already becoming clear that the content of any communication is even more important than the medium. Now physicians are in entirely new situation, and this must be acknowledged in all communications. And our customers are already pushing back on tone deaf messages or tired of attending webinars. So the fatigue webinar concept. So some are saying they want to meet medical scientific representatives and not the sales rep. And some companies are wondering if it is possible to be asking for any physician's time during this period. And there is definitely an argument to move forward an on-demand model of contact. In any of these cases, there will be a need ramp up skills in very unfamiliar models of customer engagement. I think now we as a leader, I think we should also focus more on what value addition can be given to our customers and what is the best contents, basically based on the profile of our customers. If we can offer to them, I think that will be a fantastic approach as a leadership in terms of approaching our customers in the new normal. And why engaging the team in the problem solving activities. So now, friends, you all are agree with me that today's new normal, our colleagues, they have a lot of time, they have enough time because of the lockdown, because of the quarantine, because of other factors. So we have a lot of time. So I think in this time, I may suggest that you can throw a lot of questions, you can throw a lot of unsolved issues to them, so that there is two benefits out of this. One, you can engage and you can make busy of all your team colleagues. One. Second, you can also get the answers of the unsolved issue or unresolved issues. So in such a way, so you can engage your team in the problem solving so that they can put their brain and they can think more on what is new on the particular unsolved issue. So it is kind of, we are talking about the two terminologies, that is upskilling and reskilling. And when I talk about the building capabilities for the post-COVID-19 world, as I earlier saying, so we may not be knowing what will be the future. So because Madam Ruchi was sharing that the future will be more on digital era. So we may not be knowing whether a company will retain the cream layer of people, only they'll retain, and they want more on the digital connect. Because after a revision of this new normal also, so we may not be knowing what the future will be going to offer us. So in this building capability for the post of COVID-19 world, I think the learning should not be simply something that is used to occupy downtime. The market is likely to change significantly once the crisis is over. Identify the capabilities you will need to thrive in this new world. This is the key drive for the purpose and the objectives that you can establish as a leadership. Use this period to elevate the capabilities of your people and build the value of your talent pool. And when I talk about this support to the community as a leadership during this pandemic issue, so we as a leaders and being a responsible pharmaceutical companies, we can we can do a lot of corporate social responsibility activities by supporting them. So that there are two things will happen. One, externally, our customers will gain a lot of confidence, or the respect of the pharmaceutical companies or the leadership initiatives will be recognized, and it will be much appreciated by the external customers. Internally, our team colleagues internally, their moral values and their confidence, it will absolutely will improve. So this one part also as a leader, so we can do in these tough times, and lead by example. This is a very much important thing during this COVID time, because now people are dejected, people are getting psychological down, and someone being as a leader, because people are watching you, and people are following your actions, and they are not following what you are talking. So being this tough time, I could suggest the leaders in this forum that you could closely associate with your people in this tough time. Second, you can involve yourself into the new initiative, lot of new project. You can involve yourself so that people will get influenced, people will get inspiring by you, and they will follow you, so that the team's overall the teamwork, as well as you can fostering the teamwork, and it improves the confidence level, and they can lead in the forthcoming years. And this one is a critical part of leadership, because being as a leader, we all must be knowing that all our customers are people and all our employees are people. So we should understand our people. If you don't understand your people as a leader, then you don't understand your business, and you may not drive in such a way. In these tough times, you should be understanding their needs. You should be understanding their requirements. You should be knowing what they exactly want, and deliver that, and go along with the people, work with them, align with them, give a lot of empathy. So if you understand them, and you don't need to run behind your business, you take care of your people will take care of your customers, your customer will take care of your business. So the last but not least, don't neglect yourself during this tough times, because you as a business leader or a business unit head or the leadership position, don't neglect yourself. Your team needs your leadership now more than ever. Make sure that you take the time to reflect on your own emotions and mental state. You owe it to yourself and your team. Keep your team that stable, and self-awareness is a critical component of empathy. So having understanding of our own emotions makes us better able to understand what others are going through. And there is a lot of uncertainty right now, and the best way you can guide your team through this is with strong and the calm leadership, and a thoughtful plan, and a strategical move, and a clear sense of purpose as you are the North Star. So my take-home message, I would like to give it to you, that there are two take-home messages. One, building your team for the future, for the next normal, and explore a lot of new opportunities, because there are so many people. So they're taking this as an excuse. That is this this particular pandemic period as an excuse for their non-performance. But you as a leader, so you can see the opportunities and the possibilities beyond the pandemic situation. So 2020 is all about survival. So take care of yourself and your loved ones. So be happy with what you have. So thank you so much for patiently listening. Any questions you can ask. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Shiv. Yeah, so it was very inspiring and very informative session, I could say, especially to all the leaders across the pharma industry, because during the tough times, the real leader actually supports the team rather than pressurizing. Because anyhow, you will get a pressure from the company or organization, because that's where we are born to do the work, but you cannot bring the same working and same kind of pressure on the team. So you have to be act like a absorber and a kind of, you have to use your heart rather than the mind these times, and then connect with them and understand and actually create a better teams. These are the times where actually opportunities for the leaders to bring the better teams and better opportunities for them, so that they will be more successful and they will remember you as a guide as well as a mentor. Yeah, Ashwant, please, you can.
Wonderful session, Shiv Kumar. Really very good insight into leadership. So before we go to the open questions, let me recognize some of the comments what I have received on Shiva Kumar's presentation. Right, Mr. Santosh has mentioned. Santosh, empathy plays a key role. Understand others' situation and concern by keeping our foot in their shoes will definitely address their concern and be having positive result. Thank you very much, Santosh, for showing this. Meena Suresh, Shiva Kumar, Meena Suresh has found your this presentation very insightful. And Shiva sir, you made and leadership very simple and excellent. It will help us in this stressful condition that Meena Suresh has said. Really good, insightful, and not only that, Mr. Hamid Nataf has appreciated your presentation. Mr. Deepak Loyalta and Chinmay Radwad and Sanesh Jagan. These people have really appreciated. Lot of appreciation we have got. Sabri Sri Sundar Nandam. Nice presentation from project management. He has said. So, question for you, Siva, is how to improve the inventory management during the tough time. This is the question coming to you. How to improve the inventory management? As you know, that is the key challenge people are facing. If you can throw some light.
Okay. Thank you so much for this question. And see, now during these tough times, because of the production units are not happening with the full manpower, and our supply chain management is under so much of issues and our raw material issues. So now we as a leaders, so it is our prime responsibility to keep the inventory management. So now I think in this, I could suggest that we could put like that 80-20 rule, that if you take in our business, that is 80% of our business, it is driven by the 20% of our brands, and 20% of our brands, which will be contributing the 80% of business. So in this context, I think we could suggest to the companies in terms of the production plan. I think whatever the fast moving brands or which is high demand brands, so which we will put as a priority and in the manufacturing plan. So if we put them this request, so that we can make the company to produce the particular high demand brand, so that we will have a inventory, enough inventory for the next 3 to 4 quarters. So in such a way, so I think every leader we can plan accordingly, because every company they have a production plan and the projection plan usually for 3 to 4 quarters. So in that, the first important thing what we can give it to as an important priority, which is like the fast moving or the high demand or the 80% contributing the 20% of products. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Really good insight. Shiva, one more question coming from the YouTube chat box. How to keep our team members motivated during this tough time? As you know, we only are in a stressful condition. So how to, what is your insight into that? How you are doing that? How you're keeping your team members motivated? Any incidents you can share?
Okay. So basically, I mean, we as the leaders, I could suggest that because in this presentation also we have seen. So first, I mean, give them a lot of, I mean, give your team members a lot of confidence during these tough times, because people are in anxiety, people are in fear, people are literally dejected, people are in their mindset also. I mean, they're in the downtrend. So I think we as the leaders, we should give them a lot of love, a lot of caring, a lot of motivation, a lot of encouragement, a lot of empathy. That is one. Second, I strongly suggest to everyone here that the power of small wins. So, but now in these tough times, because big dreams and big plans or the big achievements are always important, but as well as we should always appreciate the power of small wins. So whatever the smaller things, smaller initiatives during these tough times, if our team colleagues are doing this, and we as a leader, we should appreciate them, so that people will be keep on connecting them, as well as we should take care of their safety measures also. So in this such a way, so you can keep motivate your team members. Thank you.
Excellent. So I see, sir, over to you. You unmute your mic. Good, good, Shiva, good insight.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you, Shiva. It was really inspiring session, and you shared your experience as well as the problems that currently every sales and marketing guys are actually facing in the market. So Yashwant, should we start our quiz today?
Sure.
Jayesh has a problem with connection.
No issue.
Lost his power. So he's trying to get connected from a mobile, but meanwhile we can start our quiz today. So as told by Yashwant, we also appreciate all the audience, and I could say the participants, who are very active, and there was a lot of learning, and you are also throwing us a lot of challenges, and then we are all upgrading every time because of you guys, and who are very very consistent and making us on toes. So we'll start with a small quiz. Just tell me whether you could see my desktop. Yeah, is it visible?
Yes, sir, visible.
Yeah. So I hope that you have all gone through all the 3 sessions with Ruchi's digital marketing and what is the importance of marketing in digital space, and then
Yes.
Jay Khatri's project management session and Shivakumar's leadership session. So we'll directly go to the first question. So what are the 3 things that has changed? So as per Ruchi's presentation, so there were 3 things that she discussed in the very beginning of the slides. So you can just type A, B, or C as a this thing. Okay. So A is digital, analog, and supply chain. B, phone calls, content, studies. C, communication, delivery, monitoring, and D, none of the above. You can just type A, B, C, or D in your answer from Facebook or from YouTube. So what are the 3 things that has changed in the current marketing scenario?
Sir, A answer I have got.
Okay.
Yes, some of them have written. Santosh Kumar Kotha says A.
Okay, let us wait for a few more minutes because they have to recollect the first presentation.
Correct.
So
C, Hamid says C, sir.
C. Okay, great.
Yes,
okay,
yes.
okay. I think the answer is C.
Oh, great. Hamid has right answered. Good.
Yeah, the communication models, the delivery, and the monitoring models. Because previously we used to monitor the representative through their,
True.
the tour program and whether they have visited that place or not. So there are, but now everybody is working from the home.
Correct. Rakesh Kurana also says C. So C is the right answer, right, sir?
Yes.
Let us go to. Thank you very much, everyone. Let us go to the second question.
Yes. So what is physical? Yes. Physical distance. Physical and digital. Oh, sorry. I actually, gave the answer itself. Anyhow, but still, let the people say it's a physical
and digital. None of them. C, sir. Answer is C. Santosh Kumar says C. Rakesh also says C. So all are aware. They are very attentive in the
yeah.
Physical and digital is their answer. Correct. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Yes, right, sir. This is the next question.
In the thought 2 in Jay's presentation, what leads to success of project? If a project has to be successful, what should be done? Prepare a list of issues, a risk register, mitigation plan, none of the above.
Okay, let me wait for the response. See, sir, all are clear about all your answers. You have given a key. Everywhere C is the answer. Mitigation plan. Right. So Hamid, Rakesh, Kurana, Santosh, all are very clear about C. Right. Thank you, sir.
I wanted to confuse them by giving all the C
answers. They have confused you.
They are not confused.
People are smart.
Okay, so what is OTIF?
OTIF.
So business language, we call OTIF, especially in project management, even in international marketing, we call OTIF. So what is OTIF? Optimum time in full, on time in full, ongoing time in project, none of the above.
Optimum ongoing time in project. Optimum time in full. C. Rakesh has Maitre has said C. By seeing the earlier thing, Rakesh Khurana also says C. On ongoing time in projects. Are they?
But
Oh my God! On time in full is the right answer.
on time in
Okay,
full.
okay, okay,
For
okay.
example, you get an order of 100 strips and you supplied 100 strips to the stockist. That means you got the order of 100 and you supplied 100. That is called on time in full.
Good learning, sir. Good learning.
Yeah.
Right, sir. Right, sir.
So this is usually used in the project management and as well as in the we use in international marketing mostly.
True, true.
So OTIF, whether how much OTIF you achieved.
Okay.
It's like our sales target.
On time in full.
On time in full. Yeah.
Good.
B is the
Yes,
answer.
sir. Right, sir.
Yeah. What is EI?
EI.
Yeah. What is EI from Shivakumar?
So Shiva's presentation.
Yeah. The A is emotional intelligence. B, emotional issues. C, escape intelligently and especially intelligent. So what's the answer?
It is an intelligent question, we can say. The question is really intelligent. Let us see the answer. Oh, Santosh say A. Santosh Kumar is very clear. It is emotional intelligence.
Okay,
right,
great.
sir. And Santosh, he has written good, Santosh, really good attention.
And
right,
emotional intelligence has been discussed recently from most of the leadership forums. Now people are actually looking for the leaders with the emotional intelligence rather than the ability in other functions, because leadership with emotional intelligence can actually make great teams and achieve better in the organization, and they also keep everybody mentally healthy. So thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much. Before we close, a quick recognition to some of them who have given very good response, particularly to Richi ma'am's presentation, Shiva presentation, and project management. Madam Reena Chug has appreciated his input. Were very inspiring, simple. Thank you very much, Reena Chug ma'am. Satpal Singh has also said excellent presentation, Ruchi, and this is really way to go. Venkateshan, really informative. Anand Khatke, thank you very much for the presentation. He has said, then someone from SB channel, gaming with a SB channel is the name written. I don't know, it is from JS sir's team. Project management, simple, is very much simplified. He has said it is very insightful. Sabri Sri Sundareshan, nice presentation on product management. Santosh has also shared a lot of things. Thank you very much. Really, it is good for us to understand as which Meena Suresh, I have already mentioned. Some of the people who have appreciated: Deepak Loyalka, Hamid Nadaf, Sanish Jagan, Sayan Chakrabarti, Ajit Singh, Atul Jagati, and Tirthasis Banerjee, Pancham Dua, Shirish Guru, Uttam Dwivedi, Sabri, Jasprit Singh has also appreciated very much. Thank you very much, Jasprit Singh. Aniket Bhalerao, Pearl B also appreciated Ruchi ma'am's presentation. Pearl, thank you very much for watching. Then Palas Paul also appreciated Ruchi ma'am's presentation. Amin Roy, thank you very much, Amin. He's our speaker. Sabri Sri, Anupam Kumar also appreciated a lot. So these people really. Tarun Saxena has also given a very good comment that digital marketing is a new era developed by making people and pushed by continuous and pandemic situation. Thank you very much, Tarun Saxena, for sharing your thought. Really very good. We are really encouraged to see your presentations. Now, at the end, as all of our speakers are there, Raman sir, you want to give one thought? Any thought from your side?
Yeah, every times that we are increasing the viewers as well as the audience. So this time also we have increased the viewers and audience. So this time on both the platform like Facebook and YouTube, we got a good response from them, and an average of the 50 to 60. They were the constants, and those who goes and the comebacks, that is 80 to 90 viewers they were there onto the both the platforms, YouTube, LPC YouTube, as well as the LPC Facebook channel. And of course, the way that we have reached to the 23 people, those who is reaching to the LPC or page till time, maybe that 23,000 that we will cross it in this week, and got a good response into YouTube too. YouTube also we are reaching to 350 peoples in a daytimes or in a week span of the time, and this is really the good audience that we are getting it because of the content, for the content every week, or the excellent speaker they are bringing for the audience, and they are learning it. Along with that, the two college consistently they are onto or the connecting to the LPC. One is the SIES College, Management College, as well as the MISCS College, and five the Pharmacy College. So thanks to all the audience and the college students, as well as the seniors and the junior of the five B Farm colleges, as well as the management two colleges. Thank you so much. Then I will over to Yashwant sir for the word of thanks.
Thank you very much. So Jayesh sir, there are many people who were watching. You were actually in between dealing. Someone from SB channel is written. They have appreciated a lot your thing. And Satpal Singh, Sabrisri. So any last remark, Jayesh sir, you want to give to people? Jayesh Khatri sir.
Yeah, thank you for this. Actually, due to power issue, I got disconnected.
No issue.
Yeah.
No issue.
So my remark. So I would only say that in project management, we have to simplify these things. Of course, the project itself is a complex and non-routine thing, but if you have to deal with a non-complex thing, you have to simplify rather than the complicate. And to simplify, just follow the basic practices, and one must aware what is the next when doing any other task. So this is what I can say, and this is way we can simplify.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Ruchi Saxena ma'am, your final thoughts.
Yeah, so my final thought is that first of all, you've taken everybody's name, and I must say that your webinar has reached to Australia also.
Oh,
thank you, Jakpreet and Mr. Satpal Singh for watching it live over there and giving your inputs. And I was very surprised that you've taken out time from your schedule like this. Also, thank you to all my colleagues from Centis who've been watching and giving their inputs and commenting also, complimenting also. Thank you, everyone. Thanks finally to the coalition that I'm right now on the platform of Life Pharma Coalition, Yashwant, Mr. Verma, and Mr. Marke for involving in this talk. And definitely my family who is being supportive, my husband, my son, my mother-in-law, everybody. So thanks for watching it attentively, giving your attention 100%, really appreciate. And I would seriously urge everyone to explore new ideas. I think brain is far, far bigger than what our computers are. So many people have raised question about that. How do we really reach to doctors when digital overload is happening? I actually answered it in the start of my session. I'll just repeat once again. What matters to me, I will definitely look at it. Remember that key. Bring that what matters to me. Thank you, everyone. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Shiva Kumar, please give your final thoughts.
Yeah, so thank you so much, and thanks for organizing the great events. And I think this must be 12th. So I think thanks for all the viewers, and it is a great kind of a sharing and knowledge platform. And I appreciate the entire team here, Mr. Verma sir, and Mr. Raman and Mr. Yashwant, and other two faculties also. And I could say only one thing in the last, that every new designation demands a new version of you. So now it is a new normal. So upskilling and reskilling and improve your leadership skills and drive your business, and I think lead a happy and healthy life. So stay safe and stay healthy. Thank you so much. Thanks for patiently listening all this time. Thank you.
So at the end, we want to thank all the Facebook and YouTube viewers who have been watching and who are the source of inspiration for us, source for encouragement for us. We request all the Facebook and YouTube viewers keep on watching, and also subscribe our Facebook page, Life Pharma Coalition. A page is created there. They can share their thoughts. They can become member, and in case they also want to be a part of this Life Pharma Coalition, they can connect with us. So I urge everyone to connect with us through Facebook page. And last but not least, Mr. Rakesh Khurana has given a parting remark. Digital marketing in new way of pharma marketing, but we cannot leave our basics of pharma industry, and basic work will remain. Thank you very much, Rakesh, for giving a really good thought. That is what digital will remain there, but once we come to the normal, again, our personal connect with the customer will be very, very important. Right? That is it from our side. Thank you very much, everyone, for watching. Those who could not attend the earlier part, who joined later, for them, the recorded version is already there in our Facebook page, Live Pharma Coalition, and the YouTube page, Live Pharma Coalition. You can go there, you can click on the link, and you can watch the entire session. Thank you very much from our side. Thank you very much, everyone. Thank you, all the speakers. Let us keep in touch
Yeah.
and connect.
Thank you, sir. We'll go offline now.
Yes, yes, we can go.
Thank you.